Hello and welcome back to the channel. HeirofCarthage here, and we're going to take a look at the Demons of Chaos. Now, this is something that CA announced in their own trailer today. I'll link to that trailer. But there's going to be a playable faction called the Legion of Chaos, and if you're wanting to understand where the leader of this faction comes from, go check out my Cathay video. It has an opening cinematic for the campaign. I don't want to show it in this one because I have a limited amount of time I can record, and if I re-show it here, I'm wasting time re-showing something I've already done. But it shows you how this demon comes to be. But the cool thing is that Creative Assembly has given us something that we haven't seen the likes of since Shogun 2, which is a lot of customizable features where the player can kind of make it their own. You get to name your demon here, and so here, for fun, I'm going to call him Matt Demon. Just good time, right? I could have called him Patchy or whatever else it is. And what's neat about this is that you can choose the direction this guy goes in. Basically, he's going to be seeking the gifts of the different Chaos gods, and you can pick which gods you want to give that glory to, and then you get access to their units and other benefits. And, well, let me just show you how it works. Let's get this campaign started. I can only show up to 50 turns. We're not going to hit that in this video because we won't have time. But I want to show you how it works. So I'm going to kick things off. There's going to be a cutscene, a cinematic cutscene here. If you don't want any of this spoiled, go into the chapters. I'll have a way for you to skip straight through the cutscene. Otherwise, here we go.
A new evil enters the world. A prince of Kislev, reborn a prince of darkness. A champion of the Chaos Gods.
Kislev will fall. It will kneel before me, before Chaos.
You think too small for one so powerful.
Have you forgotten?
Yes, please kill Crowboy. I hate him.
I killed Urson.
Why stop at Kislev when you can give Chaos the world?
No more twisted words.
Wait! Urson lives!
You lie.
Wounded and dying by your hand, but alive! The Shadow has him still.
Be'lakor will pay for his betrayal.
The god bears power. It is yours for the taking. So take it.
The realm of Chaos cannot be entered. No one can cross the maelstrom.
I can. I will guide you back to the Forge of Souls. All I require is one drop of Urson's blood. Finish the job you started, mighty God Slayer.
God Slayer. World Slayer. Urson's power is mine.
Our goal is clear. The Demon Prince must harness Urson's power and claim the mantle of a god. I have brokered a pact and will guide him to his desire.
Am I the only one who wants to throw that guy in Mount Doom?
As my brother once did. Take me to the Chaos Realms, or suffer his fate.
Prince of Demons, God Slayer, the ruinous powers watch, waiting for you to make your mark on this world. The deeper the scar, the easier it will be to wrest Urson's remnants from Be'lakor. First, establish a capital. This will alleviate the attrition from which you currently suffer. Your new fortress is all but complete. Claim and dedicate it to one of the Chaos Gods. Yet do not linger, for trespassers approach. Colonists from Nordland attempt to settle the untamable lands. In a mistaken belief, this will quell invasions from the north. Wipe out the gullible fools at their beachhead, the Bay of Blades. Then make the Scalings pay for failing to protect lands that are the dominion of Chaos Undivided. The other Norscan tribes should be conquered and subsumed into your burgeoning realm. And across the Sea of Claws lies even fatter prey. The Empire is within reach, but beyond that fractured nation, the so-called Motherland. Kislev, the nation which abandoned you, whose god you had no choice but to slay. The leader of Ursen's cult, Kostaltin, musters a force to enact revenge against you. Meet them head-on and harvest their miserable lives to power your own vengeance. As you gather your forces, the Tome of Fates ponders a way to return to the Chaos Realms. Your form remains malleable, so use this to your advantage and wield the Legion of Chaos. A prince will become a king, and then a god.
All right, so that is the intro, and here we are with Matt Damon. You know, it is spelled with an A-E. I mean, as an American, I would spell Demon, D-E-M-O-N, but, you know, this is the Euro style where they add that A-E in here, I guess. Or, I don't know, maybe there's some other meaning behind that. So we got Matt Damon right here. Anyway, the Demonic Glory is one of the unique ways to how they play, and that's up here. And basically, whenever you perform any actions, like after a battle, from buildings or other, you know, what do you call it, unit skills or anything else that you do, you can basically give glory to one of the Chaos Gods or Chaos Undivided, and you can use that glory to upgrade your demon. And let me get some of this stuff out of the way, and let's go back to how they play here to make sure we cover everything. And then you got dedication. So after earning a great amount of demonic glory, the Daemon Prince may choose to dedicate themselves as a champion of one of the 4 Chaos Gods, or as an undivided champion of all. So you can kind of make your choice how you want to go, and you can play it how you will. Let's go ahead and take a look here. This demonic glory, this is the screen. You can see that as you put glory into each one of these, you'll be unlocking certain, you know, pieces of body that he can use to improve his own skill. And then as you give glory to the different Chaos Gods, you pick up their different demon units. So for instance, like with Khorne, we've got Chaos Warhounds, Flesh Hounds, and then eventually Bloodletters and other units. And, you know, so you can basically dedicate your victories to one of these gods and unlock their units and gain their power and all kinds of stuff. So it's really cool because it's a totally customizable experience. All in one campaign. A player could choose to go the undivided route. They could choose to go all in for Khorne. They could choose to give each one equally. They could go be a Tzeentch demon. They could mix Slaanesh and Tzeentch. Like, there are so many options on the way that you can play this that it's really cool. I'm going to go ahead and auto-resolve this first battle because it's really nothing to see. I know you all want to see him up close in battle, and that's fine. We will. I'm going to go ahead here just for fun. I'm going to make an offering to Tzeentch. I kind of like some of the early units for Tzeentch. And so I'll go ahead and do that here. And again, you can pick whatever you want. I'm just doing this for the sake of, we need to go take Doomkeep, because as was mentioned by Crowboy, we need to have a settlement. So I'm going to resettle it and, again, dedicate the settlement to Tzeentch. So you can see that Tzeentch now has the most glory because we've dedicated some things. And as we build here, the buildings are going to reflect the fact that it is dedicated to Tzeentch. And let's start off here with this one that's going to give us a little more growth so that we can build the settlement up more quickly. I'm going to do the Storm of Change so that we can improve our Tzeentch glory, because that's just the demonstration I'm giving at the moment. And you can see here that by putting those first points into Tzeentch, I have now unlocked Blue Horrors, and we just so happen to get enough to unlock Marauders of Slaanesh as well if we have the right building. And then let's go take a look here. Nothing new for our Lord, but this is where you're going to be able to see your demons, see what you've done to him. You can, you know, zoom around here and, you know, check out the different parts you're putting on him: head, torso, wings, left and right arm, legs, tail, hand weapons, offhand, two-handed weapons. So you can totally customize your demon. And then as far as the skill tree goes, there's a skill tree for each Lord and the Undivided. The skill tree for each Lord has benefits for things specific, or sorry, for each God has something specific to each of that god's units or the way they behave. So like, for instance, for Tzeentch, when you get down this tree a little bit, like, you can improve relations with all factions because, you know, Tzeentch is always tricking people, and then you got devious plotting with Slaanesh, which makes you, you know, you see what I mean? Like, it kind of goes down that line. Now, for the Undivided line, it's a little different. So, you know, it's a little more general. So the things that you do here, like this, for instance, helps your provinces grow faster. This one gives you more control. You can get better relations with Norska, more campaign movement range. So this is kind of like your general tree. This is where Lightning Strike is going to be hiding in here. And then, like I said, if you want specific upgrades to each of your gods that you want, you can pick that down here. So I'm going to go down the Tzeentch path now, just for fun. Again, the fun thing about this is you can play it however you want. You know, I'm picking Tzeentch here as a demonstration. You could pick Khorne, you could pick a mixture, you can just go straight Undivided. So I love that this campaign itself is replayable already multiple times over, just from having been unique in that regard. So it's pretty cool, in my opinion, what gets offered here. So we can get some blue hordes. I'm going to go ahead and recruit those, and then we're going to approach the enemy settlement down here at the Bay of Blades, as was mentioned to us. I'm going to burn through some turns here, demonstrate the gameplay. I haven't, like, I've gotten to play a few hours of this campaign so far. I've spent way more time in a cafe campaign, and the video I made for that, I had some more general tips for you all. I'm not going to have as many tips for this one yet, because I'm only a few hours in, and I'm still kind of taking a look at how to best play this, maybe how to cheese a few things, stuff like that. I'm sure there'll be lots of ways, just because there's so much customizability here. So we got new parts for our demon. That's what it's trying to point out with that overlay there. So let's go check that out. So you can see here, we gained enough here that we picked up some different parts. We got the spiked collar, which would make us have less defense, but makes us more powerful. And you can see when you put it on, it changes the appearance of your demon, which is really cool too. And then we got this flaming body, and they usually come with special abilities and stuff too. You can take a look and see the different benefits and negatives from switching between them. And then we have a tail piece here as well. We can get the serpentine tail, which does damage to nearby combatants. That's pretty cool. Or we can get this one, which actually adds a bearer in, and it's the Tzeentch version. So let's take the Tzeentch one. You can see, again, there's aesthetic differences between the tails. So let's put the Tzeentch tail on here. So we're rocking Khorne torso and Tzeentch tail. So we're already a, like, throt-like conglomeration of a freak here. So pretty fantastic. Oh, we picked up a sweet unit here. We've got an iridescent horror from Tzeentch, so let's bring that down and join it to our army. Use his magic to help us as we go. And your character can get magic as well, depending on the different things that you attach to him. So he can be all about melee, he can be into magic, and like I said, all that depends on the items and the skill tree that you go down. We're gonna head up here to Longship Graveyard. I'm gonna do some more recruiting here. Grab another horror and some furies. The furies are pretty helpful. Good to have flying units. They're good at attacking towers and getting behind and annoying enemy units. So there we go. And we've got a skill point. You can already start dropping this into Tzeentchy things here. And you got Glorious Warfare too. It'd be good to have extra growing provinces and stuff like that too. It would also be good to have extra stats for the Tzeentch units, since I'm going to be using a lot of them. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the stats for the Tzeentch units for now. That's going to improve my blue and pink horrors. So let's roll through this turn, and we're going to head up to Longship Graveyard. We can't actually quite reach it all in one turn, unfortunately. So I'm going to go into this. I'm not going to go into the encamp stance, actually. Go ahead and push the attack. I'm going to stop right here. There are some enemies that are moving to reinforce, try and block us from getting there. In fact, let's enter an ambush stance so that maybe we can trick them into rolling straight into us and getting wrecked. Nothing to build. Let's end our turn so we can get ready to take Longship Graveyard. Yep, our ambush worked beautifully. Let's go ahead and fight this one on the battle map so you all can see some of the units up close, see what the Daemon Prince looks like. Now, of course, his looks are going to change wildly depending on what you equip him with and which, path you go down and so on and so forth. So definitely good stuff to know. But this one's fun because you get access to a ton of different units. Your Lord can be incredibly unique and totally suited to your play style. So this is a really nice add. I haven't seen customization like this since we were in Shogun 2. And it's really nice to see it. I feel like that this is something that was kind of lacking in previous Warhammer titles, especially when you consider what Warhammer is, right? Warhammer is about a tabletop game in which you paint and basically make your own custom army. So I feel like for whatever reason this has taken too long to see it come to fruition. Now, maybe it's Games Workshop is just a little bit protective of their IP. Maybe there's other reasons, or CA just didn't quite know how to approach it. I don't know. I don't know what the reasons are, but I'm just glad to see it, honestly, and it should have been here a long time ago. Let's go ahead and start the battle. I'm going to attack their Lord immediately and get into some infantry scuffles here. My blue horrors. Oh, sorry. Let's pause it real quick and get you all close up on some of the units so we don't miss the action, but we can see the units. Here's my blue horrors of Tzeentch using their magic missiles. These guys are obviously very cute and cuddly, very cool looking units. Here's the Norskins over here. You've seen these guys before in Warhammer 2. This is just their slightly upgraded version. And let's go take a look at the units that I stacked up here on the other side. We have some Bloodletters of Khorne right here. Really cool looking demon unit. They do nice AP damage. And then, let's see. Oh man, you can't even see these guys. The Nurglings are like completely like in the weeds here, literally. So there's the Nurglings, disgusting little pox-infested freaks jumping around. And then, let's see, a little farther this way, that's more Nurglings. Here's my Marauders of Slaanesh. So I'll let you see them. Let's get a better view of them. I'm going to get up here up close. I haven't turned on my debug camera yet, but there's our Marauders of Slaanesh. They do have a bit of a green outline whenever I mouse over a unit. That can be turned off, by the way, if you don't like it. And here's my pink Horrors of Tzeentch, so a slightly stronger version of the Horrors. And then over here we've got some Chaos Warhounds. Again, we've seen these guys in Game 2 and Game 1. And then here is Matt Damon, or Matt Demon, if we will. You can see that on the battle map as well, he brings in the aesthetics that you have. So that's really cool, because it loads in, and you get to see the aesthetics that you pick. So there's our, Khorne torso piece there, and then our tail and everything. So pretty neat stuff. And then when you're in battle, there's this Reign of Chaos stuff going on. Once you fill this up, you get access to like certain special abilities and stuff that are really fun. So let's hit play. Let the battle unfold. I'm going to start bringing in my Furies, and I forgot a unit of my cavalry back here. Looks like, in general terms, the enemy is getting wrecked. This is good news. I already see some chain routes back here. Let's fold this flank in so our blue horrors can keep shooting. Let's get a look at our demon up close. I was trying to attack their Lord right now. I've got this special ability here. It's going to buff up our damage. Let's do that, and this one does it as well. So we should be sitting on a big bunch of damage right now. Yep, 541 weapon damage. And there we got the terror route near immediately. So that's going to be a successful ambush. The only thing that's left fighting here is a few Marauder Spearmen. They're going to be getting hit by blue horrors now. We ran off all their cavalry. So that's going to be the end of the Norskins. Very successful ambush for us. Let's load back out of here. So yeah, units are looking good. I hope you all noticed too as we zoomed in there that the game has had a lot of visual improvements. The periphery of the map looks really excellent. The skybox looks much better. So there's been a lot of visual upgrades in this game, which is nice to see in terms of getting to see better graphics, especially when you look at Warhammer 2 and you were comparing it to, say, a game like Troy. Troy just visually was much more appealing than Warhammer 2. Now, of course, it was newer, and you expect as much, so it's nice to see Warhammer getting that same treatment with units looking much better. So that was a very solid victory for us. We should be able to gain control of Longship Graveyard now. Let's do that. And you can dedicate these different things. So, like, for instance, I dedicated the main one to Tzeentch. If we want, we can dedicate this one to, say, let's dedicate this one to Slaanesh. So I'm going to pick this one here, Occupy. And that means if I build a military building in Longship Graveyard, it's actually going to be recruiting Slaaneshi units rather than Tzeentch units. So it's kind of cool because you can mix and match where you want to put stuff. And like I said, just make it totally your own. There's no reason to get stuck all to one thing.
Daemon Prince.
Got some more skill points here. We picked up 3, in fact. Let's go up here into the this chain, improve our growth. I'm not really worried about stuff too much. Let's just improve province growth so that we can build up our settlements faster. And then our Iridescent Horror leveled up here too. It's unlocked Blue Fire of Tzeentch. We got this Fire of Change, which gives word save whenever he's casting. So let's do that. All right, good stuff. Take a look at our chaos thing here. Yep, we've unlocked some new parts. Anytime you have, you get this little exclamation point. So we've unlocked new wings. This one comes from Nurgle, actually. Throw the Nurgle wings on there. Now you can see they're all covered in pustules and, you know, disgusting ambience around them from Nurgle. We got some heavy bracers here that add Plague of Rust to us. So that's going to be really cool. So now we can cast Plague of Rust, and then we get this Sinful Footing, which is a passive augment, so that's really neat. Let's throw this on. So now we've got some new parts here. Those were desirable light greaves that we just put on our legs. So now we're looking very stylish here. You know, we're almost unlocking thigh highs here from Slaanesh so that we'll be properly dressed for the occasion. That way we can enjoy everything. So again, you can see the mix and match. It's really fun. I'm honestly like most excited to play Kislev in Game 3 just because I've really been excited for their faction for a long time. But that said, you know, like this has been super fun, and this is a really neat add by Creative Assembly, throwing this in here where you have a totally customizable like Mr. Potato Head type of lord and faction. This was a great idea. This was an absolutely great idea, and I'm so glad they implemented it because this brings that, like I said, that customization level that we just haven't seen the likes of since Shogun 2, and it's been needed. I love seeing CA take on something new. I guess it's not totally new because we had some degree of customization in Shogun 2. I'm going to lose some of my units here, but it's not that big a deal. Just auto-resolve through this. If you all are wanting to see a minor settlement battle, by the way, I'll fight one here before the end of the video, but I've also got some minor settlements battles in my Cathay campaign as well, so you can see that video. But I'll fight one before the end of this one. Let's dedicate this one to Khorne. Again, just to have a little variety here, just for fun. So we're gaining lots of glory here. We need to recruit some new units. And we have some different options. I'm going to put some Marauders of Slaanesh in here in order to help balance off some of our Blue Horrors, which are a combo missile melee unit, and they're better at missile distance than they are melee. I'm going to finish off that growth, and then let's put some more buffs on our Tzeentch units here.
Benediction from the gods.
And then our Iridescent Horror can pick up Pink Fire of Tzeentch now, which is a nice little breath spell. Help them cause more damage. We're recruiting. We could do global recruitment as well, but I don't want to sit around for that long. We now control the entirety of this province, which is exciting. Let's go ahead and build up Bay of Blades. Actually, let's build up a different one first. That way we can demonstrate how you can recruit different units. So let's do... you know what? Let's just build up Ice Drake Fjord. And I'll try and build a recruitment building for Khorne. We can now issue a commandment because we control the entire thing. You can see the different benefits here of picking one of the lords. Let's do the Tzeentch one here because I want to generate some extra Tzeentch glory. Speaking of glory, we did unlock some new stuff. Let's come check it out. So on the head here, we got Sharpened Horns, which gives us the Call for Power ability, which massively increases splash attack and base weapon damage. And then we have this Fueled by Rage as well. A nice passive, and they got the Gore Feast ability, replenishes hit points. That's really cool. Let's do this Bestial Charging Horns. So let's throw them on there. So again, you can see the look of our demon changing as we upgrade him and throw special stuff on there. So, I mean, pretty cool. You'll have to get down in the comments and tell me what you think. But I am particularly excited for this. Like, I love what this adds. I could see this bringing a whole bunch of different challenges where it's like, do an all Tzeentch one, do an all Khorne one, do an all Undivided one. You know, like just different challenges, like do the whole campaign without upgrading your demon. Like there's going to be all kinds of fun stuff that comes from this. We might as well make friends with these guys. That way I'm not running in circles trying to fight everybody. You do start at war with any faction that isn't a Chaos faction. So like as soon as you discover them, it's immediate war whenever you do discover them. Let's see, so that's Pink Horrors and Exalted Pink Horrors. We can get through that chain. Or we can build this one and start getting Screamers, Spawn, and Forsaken. I'd like to get the Screamer, Spawn, and Forsaken. So let's build this Obelisk of Tzeentch. Right now we can already get Blue Horrors, and that's a pretty decent start. We can upgrade another of our settlements. Let's just go with Bay of Blades. Or actually, let's go with the Slaaneshi one first. There we go. I need to move back down now and keep fighting this faction. So I'm going to force march and head south and east here. Be trying to keep an eye out whether or not we have any buildings to build. We don't. End another turn. I'll come down here, and at the Altar of the Crimson Harvest, we'll fight a minor settlement battle, so you all can see that. Do this culling, or we can get the Skull Totem. Let's do the cull them immediately. That'll give us a lot of glory for all of these guys. May unlock some new stuff. It did. Let's go take a look. We got access to new heads here. This one has a bound spell, but reduces our attack and damage. This one's going to reduce attack, damage, and charge. Augment of the Winds. But it adds barrier points, too. I don't know. I kind of like the one we have. This one has Purple Sun of Zerus. That's actually really cool. And gives us more hit points. Though we lose some damage and some AP capability. Purple Sun, though, is going to be awesome for blob busting. I think I'm going to pick it just for now. So I'm going to stick that head on. Let's look at Torso. Got the Glean Magic ability. I'm good with our Torso. Urge the Weak. I'm good with our Wings at the moment. I like the passive ability they come with. Left arm. Alright, so we can get more armor, melee defense, and weapon damage. That'd be pretty cool. Or we can get the Transmutation of Lead, which is a nice debuff from the Heavy Bracers, which would still increase our armor, but we lose a lot of attack if we go down that route. Let's do... That's a bunch of attack to lose right there. We lose a ton of attack anyway. I just don't know if I like losing the melee attack right now. Transmutation of Lead is nice. Let's just keep the muscular arms. That's fine for now. Right arm, we've got the Heavy Bracers on. We got this Tzeentchy one here that adds a whole bunch of damage. But we lose Plague of Rust. Plague of Rust is a good spell, so I'm going to keep it. But, I mean, just check. Also, with the Tzeentchy arm, you can't have a weapon in it because it's just a giant crab claw. So see that if we put it on, the weapon has to come out of the arm. But, man, that does make us pretty powerful. I'm going to actually leave the Tzeentchy arm on for now. So that means in this arm, maybe we should go for the Transmutation of Lead here. We'll lose some attack. We keep the damage, but now we've got the extra spell to help make up for what we lost. So let's do that. I'll put the Heavy Bracers. And we have this Slime Tail here, which hurts attack and speed, gives us more hit points. I'm going to keep the one we got. It gives us just a small barrier. The Serpentine Tail ability is pretty cool. So, again, all these choices you get to make and customizing your demon is pretty exciting. I need to recruit some more units, by the way. I'm going to go into a standard march so that I'll be able to recruit at the end of each turn. And we should be able to get some Screamers now. So I'm going to grab another Marauder and a unit of Screamers. And Doomkeep. We can upgrade Bay of Blades now, so our growth is being fueled nicely. I see an enemy army here approaching the Bay of Blades, so let's go head them off. We are now up to near full strength with this army. And let's see, the Pink Horrors are unlocked, so that's pretty sweet. Let's go ahead and see what we can get. If I build this building, we can get access to Chaos Warriors and Bloodletters. So I'm going to go ahead and do that just to show you all. It's probably better to put in some defenses here first, like just from a tip standpoint, so that you don't lose the settlement to an army that comes in behind you. But just for the sake of demonstrating all the cool stuff you can do here, I'm going to go ahead and build this Khorne recruitment building so that we can demonstrate what you're able to do here. Need to end another turn so that we can continue the march. towards the altar of the Crimson Harvest. Alright, the enemy army is here. Let's see if we can capture them in an ambush again. So I'm going to move up, enter an ambush stance. And we can get into the recruiting. I'm going to grab one more Marauder. These are decent anti-infantry tools early on, so there we go. Looks like we've got some buildings to take care of. Yep, now we can go ahead and build the Slaneshi recruitment thing here too. Again, this is going to give us access to Demonettes, Marauders, and Marauders with Hell Scourges. And I'm just, again, from a tip standpoint, I don't always recommend building these recruitment buildings first because you don't really need all the recruitment early. You'd rather protect them from enemy armies, but, you know, it's not a big deal. Just for the sake of demonstration here. Our Iridescent Horror leveled up, so give him Treason of Tzeentch, which hurts leadership. Could be a good spell at helping us break an enemy line. It looks like they foiled our ambush. I think they foiled our ambush, or maybe it just swapped us into a recruiting stance. I think it did. Let's set up an ambush again right here. I think when we recruited it popped us out of that. So let's stop recruiting, and let's enter the ambush stance. See if we can lure that army out of the settlement. I'm going to build the Tzeentch thing here so we can get pink horrors. And let's end our turn. So at the altar of the Crimson Harvest, be able to give you all a demonstration of the... Right, what do these guys want? Yeah, let's do this. Again, I don't want wars up on this side. This will keep me safe for now, and I can focus all in one direction.
Daemon Prince.
Ambush foiled again. Crap.
Supreme Champion.
Is there a better place to lay an ambush? That's 40%. 70%. Where we're standing, it's only 40%. So let's move into these woods just a little. And now lay an ambush again, see if we can catch these guys. There is better recruiting now, but I'm going to hold off on the recruiting for the moment. Let's upgrade our settlement here. And then we have an outpost that we can construct. This is a new feature in the diplomacy. Whenever you make an ally, you can construct an outpost and you can recruit units from them using an allegiance currency that you earn by working with your allies. So, pretty cool feature that I'm not going to get into great detail on these early videos, but that we will show soon. We have a better ambush chance. We really want to lure that enemy army out of that settlement. It would be ideal for us to not face them in that settlement, but I will if we need to. Non-aggression pact, sure, whatever. They're going to give me a bunch of cash. They have not left their settlement. Alright, well, they may not leave their settlement. So, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to move back this way. I'm going to start to toughen up our army some because we may end up in a pretty challenging melee here. So, the Screamers are definitely better than the Furies. So let's kick the Furies. Let's kick some Nurglings. We can only recruit a couple of units at a time, really. Let's kick a couple of horrors. And let's start improving our army here. So Demonettes have much better melee capability, and then of course Chaos Warriors are slow but quite tanky. Bloodletters hit hard against infantry, although they're low armor. So basically, I'm going to start just putting some variety up into our army here. And let's go ahead and stack up some pink horrors, which again are going to be better in melee and with missiles. And let's grab some Demonettes, you know, again. So I'll just start throwing some better units into here. It's going to take a few turns to get all these. Some more Screamers. Actually, I don't know. I got a couple of good flying units. We got some Seekers, which is a decent cavalry unit on the ground. So let's just maybe throw an extra Chaos Warrior or something there, like a heavy infantry. It'll be hard for all these Marauders to kill. So now I'm going to blast through a few turn-ins, and I'll come back to you when we're ready to attack the altar of the Crimson Harvest. But I'm on the battlefield outside the settlement where I promised you all we would have a battle. I'll show you any new units I have here. I got the Pink Horrors of Tzeentch. I've got a couple of them. There's my Iridescent Horror. I don't know if we caught him earlier. So we got the Iridescent Horror, and then here's my Screamers of Tzeentch. Nice flying unit here that does some anti-large damage. And I have deployed in 3 separate zones. I've got my Tzeentch troops there. Over here I've got my Slanesh troops. So this is going to be my Marauders and Seekers. I don't know if I showed the Seekers earlier either. So here are my Seekers of Slanesh. Very cool looking unit. Let you all see them up close. Rocking that Uniboob Slaneshi look. And then I've got my Demonettes of Slanesh here as well. Nice AP, or sorry, these ones are not the AP version. These are just high damage. More like Sisters of Slaughter or something, right? Alright, so let's get these units all grouped up. My Lord is way over here. By the way, I changed a few things about him. I put an ability on him that gives him access to this Tzeentch's Firestorm spell. This thing's crazy powerful against blobs. And then I've got my Plague Drones of Nurgle here. These units were in, well, but I didn't get to show them earlier, so it's like stink flies, basically. And they're going to be supporting my Warriors of Khorne. Speaking of, we got them here. So here's the Chaos Warriors of Khorne that are part of my army, so very cool looking units. And then you all saw the Bloodletters earlier, so we got a couple of units of Bloodletters. So we are going to approach and attack the settlement from multiple sides. And let's move up and start things. And let's see, I'm going to move up my Tzeentch units. I'm going to put these guys hopefully in firing range before they get into melee. We want to use them to push the enemy back, so we are pushing the settlement from multiple fronts. Everybody's moving. Looks like the enemy Lord here is in the capture area, and then the biggest force is going to be facing our Lord over here, which that's fine. That Firestorm of Tzeentch ability is going to be really powerful. We're going to use it. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and kind of blob these guys up a little bit so I can charge in with my warriors and get an advantage in melee here. Plague of Rust these guys. I want to wait till we have as big a blob as possible for using our other abilities. Let's go ahead and use an explosion ability here, cause some extra damage. Might as well use this one too, so it'll begin its cooldown for the next time. So we're cutting our way through some Marauders. I'm not really worried about a lot of magical attacks coming back at me from the Norskins. Otherwise, you'd want to be careful about blobbing up early on in this. Ooh, it looks like over here we're unopposed on the Slanesh side. Remember that Slaneshi troops move very quickly, so I'm going to make a run for the capture point, actually, with the troops from Slanesh. So let's do that. Let's see how my Lord's doing. He is creating a blob. This is good. This is the blob we want. I'm going to keep some of my troops back, and we want to really get this blob all in here because this Firestorm of Tzeentch is going to be fantastic. Watch this. Probably going to kill some of my own troops, but hopefully this will be worth it. We're going to unleash Tzeentch's Firestorm here on this blob. Really cool looking spell. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's good stuff. Look at that. We've already got over 100 kills from it. It did end up annihilating my own unit. Back up, boys. Back up. Don't get hit by that crap. This spell is very, very strong at blob busting, but it will definitely hurt your own units. You can see there, look at that, 215 kills. Absolutely obscene. I'm going to get my Lord out of combat's way here. We have some extra abilities. I'm going to put this bombardment right here. So that Firestorm of Tzeentch was unreal. That was good stuff. All right, here comes the bombardment. Our Lord is back to safety for a moment. There is a tower over here. I'm going to go attack that tower with my plague flies here. That way the tower won't be getting freebies on me. There's that bombardment. So causing even more damage. Our Lord's barrier is back up, so we can go and try and create the next blob here. I've got my troops pushing in. And then my Lord is ready to support that melee blob. All right, my Slaneshi troops are about to arrive on scene here. I'm going to send my Demonettes straight after the enemy Lord. Yep, so the Slaneshi troops pushing forward very nicely. And my my Tzeentch troops are just kind of holding the line back here. I'm going to put some of my pink horrors up closer and start killing some of these troops. There's no need for me to rush over here with the Tzeentch side. We're just going to use it to continue to cause problems. Let's get down here into the melee blob and make our presence felt. I'm going to use some debuffs that come from our Tzeentch parts here. And then we're going to use this explosion ability. Should be quite good. Yeah, depending on how you customize your demon, you can see with that Tzeentch spell, he's fantastic at blob busting. He's going to be extremely powerful in battles like this, whereas my demon is not very good, for instance, against large enemies at the moment. But, you know, I'm going to be very, very good at hurting blobs of enemies. I'm going to go ahead and fall back through that and to let my barrier get back up. So I'm going to try and use that barrier as best I can. And looks like our flies here took out that tower. Let's go get the other tower with our flies. All right, all my troops, my marauders have arrived up here. My demonettes did a lot of damage to the enemy lord, but then ended up getting caught in a bad position, so that's unfortunate. That's okay, we can re-recruit them. These marauders got held up. I'm gonna just go sacrifice a few units, run these guys down. All right, so it looks like our Tzeentch forces can push up now. They've opened up a pathway through. I've got my Screamers of Tzeentch too. I'm gonna bring the Screamers up here to help out. All right, so our Tzeentch flank busting in. Our Khorne flank is doing a great job. It's a Curse of the Slug ability. Let's wait, maybe see what else we can charge up for. I'm gonna use my buff here, buffing attacks. I can use my Vortex spell again, but I'm gonna wait for the right moment. Oh crap, our Slaanesh troops are kind of getting rolled up here. They got a little bit too far ahead of themselves, unfortunately, but that's okay. I got some Screamers heading in. I'm gonna use the Screamers to go after the Marauder Hunters, actually, and I've got my Plague Flies. Let's bring the Plague Flies after the enemy Lord. Let's get all of the Tzeentchy stuff pushing for the capture point. And my Lord is doing a good job. We've almost got these forces over here wrapped up. Let's debuff them. Good work, good work. We're making great progress so far. Alright, there's the Screamers and the Plague Flies. Let's stick a Plague on the enemy Lord here. Alright, and let's bring all the rest of my Tzeentch stuff up. My Screamers and my Flies are a little bit exposed now because all of my Slaanesh stuff routed, so not the best timing on my part. Bring my Lord over to support this. Our Khorne troops have broken through, and they're going to have to knock a barricade out of their way. Actually, they don't. They can just run around that way. It's not much slower. We're just going to ignore the units that they have stacked up here, and we're just going to go for the main capture point, try and break the back of this enemy army. Let's see if we can get my Screamers out of here. We've got our Horrors shooting some of those. Some units came back from routing. Alright, here comes the Daemon Prince. He should be able to get in here and finish off the enemy, and then I'll drop this. Let's wait just a second on that Vortex so I can make sure it gets placed properly. I'm going to see what the enemy troops do when I land here. And I'm going to go ahead and use this Mortal Blow. Alright, excellent. Got all our troops moving in. This is looking good. Looks like we're in good shape. Bring all our Marauders back up. Alright, enemy Lord is dead. That is going to probably crush morale there. And here is a little Tzeentch for you, Scarecrow. This one's not going to be quite as good, but should still cause some damage. Hopefully won't destroy my entire army this time. We're about to break the enemies. Marauders, let's get on these javelins. Alright, here comes my Khorne units. Oh yeah, good stuff. That spell did end up hitting some of them. We got 400 kills with our Daemon Prince this battle. There goes basically the remainder of the enemy troops. They do have some skirmishers, but I've got all my Tzeentchy stuff left at this point. And the Tzeentch stuff has missiles, and we'll be able to easily put their missiles to rout. But we should see a chain rout here at essentially any moment. Go ahead and go attack these javelins over here. Let's get some good close-ups on the Daemon Prince here. Looks so good. Love it. So he put those guys to rout in a big hurry there. And let's see what's left. Not much. I'm kind of wondering what's keeping the power bar up here. They must have like just a couple of Marauder cavalry. Let's go ahead and make... Yeah, it's the Marauder cavalry. They got just a couple of units left. Let's get the horrors lined up to shoot back at the Marauder cavalry, and then that should be the end of it. We've captured the enemy's key objective or key building here. It knocks down all of their their defenses that were in the vicinity. So yeah, they've got enough units left that they haven't chain routed. I don't really know why, but like I said, my horrors are gonna put a swift end to them here. We've got another vortex ability. Let's go ahead and use that here too. Might as well. They're gonna run away from it. That's fine. Let's keep our marauders back.
We cannot refuse.
Such a cool looking spell. It didn't end up hitting anything that time, unfortunately, because their troops ran off, but there's nowhere to run. Like, I've got these guys at this point. Their horsemen have to face my, they have to face my troops. I'll get rid of their tower, because it's going to be shooting at me. I lost my other flying units. I'll have to re-recruit. I got my iridescent horror here, too. I'm pretty sure they have to come attack me, but... Pink Horror's doing some work here. Get those Marauders. We can heal a unit. Let's heal right here. I'm gonna go use my Horrors to do some ranged attacks on their remaining cavalry. Should be a chain route already, in my opinion, but they're being stingy with me on the chain route. You know how it is when the AI is involved. Come on, kill this thing already. Towers are so annoying. Hope they get some changes made to them. Yeah, right now they're just surviving with running around with all their cavalry. Anyway, you all seen the battle. I'm going to load out afterwards once it's completed. Alright, so I finally convinced the enemy that they were defeated and they just hadn't admitted it yet. You can see that we had some pretty cool stats here on Matt Daemon, and some of his bloodletters did incredibly well there too. So, as you can see, this campaign is going to be a lot of fun. Very customizable for the player. There's a lot going on here. You all get down in the chat, tell me what you think. Tell me what else you want to see from the Daemon Prince. If you have any questions, let me know. I will do my best to answer them. We can go ahead and dedicate this settlement to someone. Let's just go ahead and let's do another corn settlement for fun. But yeah, anyway, let me know what your questions are. Heir of Carthage signing out for now from the Daemon Prince. I will see you all soon. Some more action from Total War Warhammer 3.